Hey, what's
Tyson,
going on?
how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very well. Where are you?
I'm in Adelaide, so a
Is
little
this your
bit
crib?
up.
Is this your
Yeah,
crib here?
yeah, I'm in my office. Yeah,
Let's
but
see what you
down in
got there.
Adelaide.
Give us a little scan around. Let's see what you got on the walls.
What do I got? I got most of this stuff's pretty old. Can you take it out of? How do you take it off selfie mode?
No, you're good. Just do it like that. You're good.
I
Okay.
think that's easier like this. So I got given this for like just promoting. What was it? NBA 2K19.
Yep.
Was it this one? Is just like a signed frame poster of Kobe 8 verse 24. What else we got? This is an old one. That's a Steph Curry poster I did. That was actually the first poster I did on the NBA store, and it broke the record for like most sales in the first 24 hours or something, which was crazy.
Give me a number. Give me a number to go with that, Tyson. How many do you think you did? How many did they do?
They didn't tell me. They didn't tell
What?
me. But the funny thing is they were so cautious in terms of like getting me, because I guess at the time then, I think that was before Steph Curry was big, before his MVP and all that.
Okay.
And at the time they were very cautious because they were very cookie cutter template designs on the NBA store, and they went with something a little bit different. I mean, that's so old now, I don't like to look at it, but they were cautious. They were like, oh, I don't think it will sell well and everything. And anyway, bang, went out. Steph Curry kind of posted the link, and he wasn't even the MVP back then. And
Right.
yeah, it went wild. So that was pretty cool. And there's just some other stuff. That one's funny. That was the thing I did for Foot Locker, and as you can see, nobody's on that. Everyone's moved teams besides Steph Curry.
Right.
And what else we got? We got a bunch of like just trading cards and stuff I've done, but I got some cool stuff over here. I got Jordan and Kobe stuff I need to clean up, and this what else we got here? This here, this is a champagne bottle from the 2010 Lakers Boston NBA Finals. So that was given to me. So I don't know who drank out of it, but one of the Lakers players did. Maybe Ron Artest.
Wow.
Replica trophy. Needs a good clean, and signed Kobe ball. So that's pretty much it in my office.
That's pretty cool. Don't ever invite me to your house, because I'll be that dude that just didn't leave.
Yeah. So I actually need to refresh this a little, because it's been like the same for the last 5 years. So it probably does need a little bit of a refresh.
Well, you're probably too busy, man, to worry about the small stuff, right?
Yeah, but it is nice to kind of look around if you maybe need some inspiration, or instead of looking at work that you're like, oh, I wish I could change this, I wish I could tweak this sort of thing. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's, I guess, a low priority thing to kind of clean up this office.
So just for the viewers out there, I send the guests a little run sheet, a little topic sheet prior to getting together, so they have some type of idea which way their brain needs to go. And I think I've kind of buried the lead here, Tyson. I had number 5 as your work. I think I should have put that at the beginning. So let's talk about some of the big projects you've done, and then we can backtrack and go through, your life and so forth.
Big projects I've done.
What's the one that you say really where people like went nuts over?
Oh, geez. I get, like, one of them was probably just getting a contract to work exclusively with the NBA. I think it wasn't like a big project in terms of like the initial thing, but I think it was just more so like my followers and my friends and family knew that literally like my life is surrounded by basketball in the NBA, and to actually be recognized, they reached out to me, they found me, and they were like, let's get to work, and they put a contract in with me, and they pretty much I'm still working with them 6 years on, and a lot of the stuff I do, I don't post, I don't share anything. I do like the digital branding for all the All-Star games, NBA Finals, NBA playoffs, regular season. Yeah. So I'll do all that, but I don't really share it. It's mainly just like template stuff sort of thing. Like I used to do cool graphics for them, things that look nice, but now it's kind of branding projects. So it's a little bit different, but I guess that was the biggest for me, because it was just like, it's the thing I've been working my whole life towards.
Yeah. And what year did that?
am. That's what I'm
I
hoping.
know.
Not like an influencer thing, but, you know, let's just starting out playing around. And that's, I don't know if that's right. And which is kind of cool to take or like towards.
Yeah. And what year did that go down?
2014. Yeah. The September 2014. It would have been just before the 2014 season, 14-15. So, but to put it in perspective, I started designing in 2003. So it was a long journey to kind of get the NBA to see my work, I guess.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And okay, so that's kind of the one that gave you that good hit. What's your favorite one, or what are some of your favorite ones that you've done?
So for me, my favorite is definitely just working on anything that a client actually wants my name on it.
Okay.
So like, I guess when you so many creatives, like they'll understand is like you know, you'll be so proud that you got a client or got some, you know, real work or anything, but then you like it's literally your name's hidden. Like it's not like an article where it always says written by or there's a photo, you know, in an article and it says the photographer. For some reason, if you make a design, you just don't get credit. So for me, I think it's any project that I'm getting my name on there, my logo. And I think so for me, that's like recognition. I find that so respectful. It's like they want to tell the world, hey, we worked with Tyson on this. It's not like they're trying to hide me. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing now, I'm doing trading cards now, and that's got my name on there. It's got my signature on it. It's good, like they get me to autograph the sports cards, and it's got my logo on it. So a lot of that stuff's cool to me because it's like, geez, these companies aren't shying away from, you know, my name on the products now.
It's interesting because the young lady that does my logo stuff and design stuff, we just had that discussion yesterday. I said you need to come up with I said you need to come up with a signature or something so that I always give her a bump early when she does something. I acknowledge her early in the piece, but I'm like, after that, how is anyone to know? Like, how do you continue to get ongoing recognition? So hopefully, Maddie, I think you're watching tonight. Look, the expert, the guru right here, just backed me up. So Maddie, get your signature together, your little logo. What do you recommend in that regard, Tyson?
So for me, it's just like building up your personal brand. So
no, but what a signature or a logo? What do you think works effectively?
I think both. I think both, because a signature won't apply to everything. A logo probably can apply to everything, but then a signature can be more, maybe like a more authentic or like limited series of work and things like that. I definitely would do both. I have a signature and I have a logo. My signature doesn't go on anything outside of if a client wants me to sign something, but then the logo will hopefully be applied to most things. So, yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. And let's talk about some of your clients because the list is long.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty long. The funny thing is, if you've looked at the clients, there's barely any in Australia, which is kind of somewhat funny because I still live in Australia. So I'll struggle to get work here, but like overseas, it seems to be in demand. So pretty much I've worked with all the US sporting leagues, like literally all of them. NBA, NFL, MLB, UFC, NCAA, MLS, like all the big ones. And done a lot of like the clothing brand stuff. So done a handful of projects with Nike and Adidas, Under Armour. What else have I done? I do memorabilia stuff. So I did all like Kobe's memorabilia line over like his last maybe 6 years of his career, and then 2 years after his career. With Panini, I do stuff with Topps. That was kind of like the trading card stuff. If you've seen that I showed. And in Australia, I actually did some NBL jerseys with First Ever with the NBL last season.
That's right.
Which was
I remember.
Which was a kind of cool project because I've never done like I played around and had fun with making jerseys online like most designers have, but to do like a real one's pretty fun to do. Well, actually, sorry.
What's your current project right now? Topps?
Yeah, that's the big one. I mean, with the sport like, so I was doing the playoff branding for the NBA, and they were still pushing that on up until 2 weeks ago, and now it's kind of hit pause. Because I guess who knows what's going to happen with the playoffs. So a lot of the stuff, actually, one of my biggest clients now, the New York Knicks, I'll do all their game day. I'll do some of their game day stuff for their home games. So obviously that's like gone away. There's no games, no sport. I was helping redesign Port Adelaide Football Club's change rooms. That kind of got scrapped, I guess, because there's no AFL games on. So there's a bunch of projects, and a few other things that kind of scrapped. But for me right now, it's Tops, which is insane. Like we're just remaking these old baseball cards, which is kind of cool because there's no current sport on. Well, that's kind of the old players. I'm seeing some of these comments come.
I know.
Yeah, it's all about my beard. So actually, I should say this before I keep getting these comments is I never have a beard, but I don't know why. I just let it grow, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grow this beard until the NBA returns. So that's what I'm doing.
Hey, it's an impressive beard. I can't grow that. Totally incapable.
My dad's a redhead, so there's actually a bit of red coming through, which I'm learning. So, I don't know. Red beards aren't the best beards, but I'm growing it out until the NBA returns, and then I'll shave it off.
Okay. So all of this, Tyson, has basically come from just some experimentation and a love of messing around with some Photoshop.
100%. But also basketball as well, though. Like, So for me, how it started was, being in high school, I'd say 90% of the guys in high school spent their time chasing girls, like at recess and lunch, going around, sitting with girls, talking to them. And like me and my friends weren't like that. We were like, we don't want to sit around and talk to girls. We want to hoop like every recess and lunch. I don't know. I think I saw my brother comment before, so he's probably in this, but he was the same as me. So he was a younger brother, 2 years younger than me. And when he was in year 8 and I was in year 10, we would just all, like, the year 8s and the year 10s would just all go to the outdoor courts, and the year 12s as well. So it was just every recess and lunch playing basketball. And
let's give a shout out to that. Let's give a shout out to that school in Adelaide.
Oh yeah, Aberfoyle Park High School. So it's a pretty Darrow public school. So I loved it though. I'm a bit like that. I don't like fancy things. So I absolutely loved it there. But it was sick. We'd hoop every day in recess and lunch, outdoors or inside. So for me, oh man, I just loved it so much playing basketball. I was never good. Was never great at it. Like I thought I was good, but clearly I wasn't good enough. So for me, it was just like, I looked at it and I was like, okay, the thing I love most is basketball, clearly, but I'm not good enough to turn it into a career, not by any stretch. So then I kind of looked at it and I was like, what's the one thing I'm actually good at school? I was like, well, I'm good at the art and design classes. So I was like, but I'm not like I wasn't like an arty person. Like I don't roll with that kind of crowd. And I never thought of myself as a creative person. And I still don't think I am a creative person. I just kind of have good ideas with sport and just kind of blend the two together. So that's where it happened. I was just like, I took the thing that I'm good at, the only thing that I was good at in school, and applied it to the thing that I loved, which was basketball. And that's kind of how it happened.
Can you draw?
Yeah, I do drawing. A lot of my designs are drawn, but I don't like freehand sketch or anything. A lot of the stuff that I do, there's a Wacom tablet. I literally it's literally tracing photos. So I'll redraw photos. A lot of the clients that I have might not have photo rights, so they won't be able to use a photo. So I'll literally just draw it, and that's kind of the way around that. Yeah.
Has Corona affected Adelaide in any way?
That's my brother.
That's your brother. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can mark him. But Corona hasn't been too bad down there lately, right?
Nah, it's pretty good, but I think it's in somewhat, from my opinion, I think it's not the best thing that it's going really well, because people's mindset are changing. There's no fear here. People going on Facebook every day. I'm seeing everyone going to the beach and everyone just having fun and enjoying life. So I think the mindset probably is they're relaxing a little here, which is fine, I guess. But nobody's living in fear here. No way. No.
Wow. So
how's it like up your way?
It's getting better.
Middle.
Like the new cases has really died down in the past 7 to 10 days. I think today there was like 6 in Queensland.
Okay.
So
not. Yeah.
I'm laying low though.
Yeah, I think it's just wise to, even if no reported cases. Like, I mean, you still don't know. People don't even know. People have it and they don't even know. So the reported numbers will never be close to what is actually the truth, from my opinion.
So I've been asking this question to all the guests. What kind of entertainment options have you been getting into? Or you just
I don't know. I Netflixed it for like the first few weeks, and then I'm like, nah, there's nothing left on Netflix. So I'm just waiting for that Jordan Bulls documentary to drop, to be honest.
Monday morning, baby. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I assume it's Monday morning. I'm hoping it's actually Monday 12:01 a.m. That's what I'm hoping.
I know.
I don't know if that's right, but I'm kind of hoping it is, because then that would be Sunday night for us. But I'm actually not sure about the actual time.
My mother sent me her Netflix account, so I'm going to VPN it and see how quickly I can get on the USA one.
No, it's not. It's not on US Netflix.
Oh, really? What is it? Oh,
it's on ESPN. It's on ESPN.
in America?
ESPN and ABC. Yeah, so ESPN exclusively in America, maybe ABC as well, but then it's worldwide Netflix.
Good job, Netflix.
Yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Because I actually kind of grew up so I'm born in '89, so I definitely miss the Bulls era, because when you think about it, what was the last Bulls championship? 98, was it?
Yeah, 98.
So I was 9 years old then. Like, I don't even know what. I can't remember anything, and I didn't watch NBA till '99 anyway. So obviously I've gone back and watched footage, but I want to see this. It's going to be awesome.
So when you were back in high school, was there a full range of courses that could satisfy what you needed, not only from a motivational point of view and curiosity point of view, but also like professionally trying to advance on to the next level? Was there enough around in Adelaide?
Nah. Graphic, even it would be all right now, I reckon. But I mean, I went to TAFE here. It's called. I don't know if you've got TAFE.
Yeah.
But I ended up dropping out because it was like we were painting pictures and doing like having life drawing with like nude models and like doing darkroom photography, and I was just like, it was a graphic design course, and I was like, man, this isn't graphic design. This isn't what I want to do. So I think they just give you that because they want to build you up the basic understandings of everything. But it's just like, you don't need to do a year of darkroom photography. Like, I don't even think you can get a darkroom, like a photo process these days. So it was all very like, I reckon I was like in the last of the era before. I'm sure it's all different now. I studied in 2007, and it was super old school. So, but really, realistically, sports design really wasn't a thing until social media picked up. There literally was nothing. There wasn't. I didn't aspire to be anything when I was younger. I actually didn't think there'd be a career in it. I just wanted to do something I liked doing. So none of the teams really had designers when I was kind of starting out playing around, and that's kind of how I built up my work, because like fans would be like, I'd be on forums back in the day, like basketball forums, and fans would be like, like a Denver Nuggets fan would be like, I'd love like a wallpaper of I don't know, someone from Denver in 2005 or whatever, and
Mellow.
then Mellow, and they'll be like, like the Nuggets, they're not putting anything up. There's nothing on the website, nothing. So we'd make it, and then we're creating this demand where like all these fans would gravitate to our work, and the teams weren't doing it themselves. So I think in a way that kind of helped us original designers that were out, that created a lot of the trends and stuff you see now, is because we were doing it before the teams, and like then companies like ESPN and Bleacher Report, like they literally picked apart You know, I'm friends with that, close friends with 4 other designers, and Bleacher Report basically just came in and poached 4 of my friends, and then just
Right.
said, what you're doing on your personal accounts and a design account I was running, Bleacher Report's just going to do that every day. And that's kind of how Bleacher Report kind of got big, which is good because that was the end goal, everyone getting jobs. So,
Yeah.
but we were definitely like doing it before it was like a thing that you could even make money, because I guess social media, no one really cared about visual content until social media came around.
So those corporate jobs versus your independent flow, what suits you better? Do you like the, would you prefer the security of being in the machine, or you like being out on your own?
I still put up a lot of personal work because I feel like I enjoy doing that. Like, there's no clients kind of asking for annoying changes and stuff like that. Because I guess a lot of times if you're working for like a big team or a big athlete, there's so many minor things they'll want. Like, I mean, I'll go, like, you know, there was a period where like the NBA would make me take out grey hairs from any photo of Dirk Nowitzki I used, or like Kyrie Irving. Like, literally would go into like that much detail. So yeah, so there's a lot of changes and stuff where you don't get that in your personal work. You just put up whatever you think looks good. But at the end of the day, every client that I've gotten is just based off my personal work. They see what I've done just for fun, and they've reached out to me and wanted me to do a similar thing. So I love the corporate work, I guess, because it does bring in money. But then also, I've definitely made money off my personal work because I've made partnerships where I'll literally post a personal design, and it'll look like a personal design, but actually someone's paying for it. Like, it would be, what do you call it? Not like an influencer thing, but, you know, let's just say I post something with an athlete wearing an Adidas shoe, where Adidas actually paid for that, but nobody knows, you know. So there's been...
Let me ask you this. Is there do you have a gallery or somewhere, like if somebody wanted to go buy a Tyson Beck design, you don't have somewhere where you have a collection where I could go whack down $300 or $400 and get some goods?
Nah, like I actually just launched a website this week, but I don't have any basketball stuff on there. I'm just selling my trading cards at the moment, which is actually going crazy though. Like, some like the trading cards I'm selling, the baseball ones.
You're basically producing on demand. Screw just making stuff. I'm producing on demand.
Yeah, I got to make it limited, like a limited number. So once it sells out, I can't sell anymore. But everything on there, I'm releasing a new card every 2 weeks, and everything on there at the moment sold out. So all 124 or something, 125 cards have sold out at the moment. But then Tops are selling them as well, so they sold like nearly 4,000 the other week. So, but I can sell them with my autograph on it, and which is crazy is like I'll sell them my auto, and like depending on the color and grades, it will be a different price. But there was one that there's a couple that went for like 300 US yesterday, and I checked eBay this morning, and they're on eBay for like $2,500. Like my autograph on a baseball card, it's just insane.
Wow.
Like,
it's pretty flattering, though.
Well, I know. I was just like, I want to check. I checked like Australian basketball players, like how much are there? Like, how much is a Joe Ingles basketball card worth? And it's like $60 signed or something. Like, it's insane. Like, the only player that's like in the big thousands is Ben Simmons. So I don't really understand, but I think the baseball community is different. Like, their baseball cards are way bigger than basketball cards. So it kind of puts it in perspective of how big the baseball card industry is compared to basketball still.
Wow. And so who were some of your, back to the art world, who were some of your inspirations? Who did you find, like, I love this artist, or I love this designer? You know, was it somebody classical? Is it, you know?
Yeah, so for me, I guess it was 2 of the 4 guys that I mentioned that kind of got poached by Bleacher Report. So for me, there was a guy called Chang, and he was definitely someone that I looked up to. I mean, in the sports design world, we kind of call him Bill Russell, just because he's like the OG, he's like the godfather. So for me, I had a problem when I first started. Well, not even when I first started, I'd say probably the first 10 years. I would just make things that looked cool, but there was no purpose to it. There was no story. There was no emotional connection with the viewer of my work. So he taught me that you need to kind of push more into the art side of things and less design. And actually have a story and a concept behind your work. Stop making stuff that just looks cool, because at the end of the day, like there's like I said, there's no emotional connection to it. And that's what you see is the stuff that goes big on social media, like is the stuff that viewers see and they're, you know, emotionally tied to, and they'll hit retweet, and you never know who will see it. So for me, Vince was definitely the person I learnt most from. And then the other guy, the other designer, sorry, is Ashan Mishra, and he was a friend that he's New York based as well. Both of them are New York, and I learned so much from him also.
Right.
But the biggest thing that
where did you interact? Where did you cross paths with these guys?
We just basketball forums, so that's how we found. Kobe Bryant had a basketball forum, and that's how me and Ashan met. And I think me and Vince met through a basketball forum called mixmakers.net, like way back in the day. But because there was like, it was such a small niche community back then. Now there's like thousands and thousands of designers. So we all kind of knew each other back then, just because you'd see like everyone's little name in the corner of a wallpaper, and you're like, oh, who's that guy? And you'd Google them and you'd find out and you'd start chatting. So yeah, Ashan taught me, the thing he taught me was just all that timing, because we ended up making a wallpaper site, and we would just kind of it was called Posterizers, and it was quite big at the time. And that was actually like, so before like ESPN had a social team and graphics team and stuff, what would happen is like, so when Dwight Howard signed with the Lakers and they announced it on SportsCenter, they would jump on Posterizers and take what we made. And that the first thing you saw when Dwight Howard in the Lakers jersey was taken off Posterizers. Like, and it happened multiple times, like, because we were just correct. I mean, we didn't even care back then because we were kids and we were just happy to see our work on TV. But now it's like these media companies have massive teams of like people and they're just always ready. But so for me, he taught me all about timing, because my work would never blow up. It just looked cool. That was the only thing that my work was. So he's just like, no. Like, don't make a Russell Westbrook wallpaper or graphic and just put it out there. Make it and then sit it in the archives. Wait until he drops 50 points. Wait till he hits a game winner. Wait till he does something incredible and then post it. So he's just a killer at SEO and all that stuff. So that's what I learned from him, and that's kind of I try and apply that to my stuff now as best as possible.
Wow, that's really good insight. Hey, and what about from an athlete's point of view? Who gave you motivation?
Oh, for me, it was Kobe for sure. Like, he's just the single person. I really haven't used anyone else's inspiration. I don't know. It was just, I don't know how it started, but it's definitely Kobe for sure for me.
And you actually met and interacted and dealt with Kobe?
Yeah, met him twice. Was fortunate to meet him twice. And they were 10 years apart, and literally nearly to the day. So the first time I met him was 2019, it would have been, March. And it was after a Lakers game that Andre Iguodala hit a game winner. Kobe hit like the go-ahead shot, I thought, to win the game with like 6 seconds left. But Iggy hit three on Trevor Ariza's head. And this was in Kobe's MVP season. So they made the NBA finals that season. And I was just like, man, I was so pissed off, because I was like, oh, I'm going to go down outside the locker room. Kobe's going to meet me. He's going to be furious that they lost on a game winner. So I went down there. I was actually working with the Lakers at the time. So they actually gave me and my family a corporate box, which was just nuts.
Wow.
Like, I'm like an 20-year-old kid in a corporate box with my family at a Lakers game. It was nuts. So went down and hung out outside the locker room, waited there for probably over an hour to see Kobe, because he was fulfilling some Make-A-Wish Foundation duty after the game. And he did this stuff like regularly, but he just didn't, there was no PR side of it. Like, he was doing it without, like, a lot of the players, the athletes, they'll only do it if there's like a PR opportunity, like with a charity, or well, not a lot, but you know, some athletes do that. So he would just do stuff, and no one would know about it. So I was sitting there, and I was like, yeah, this guy just wants to go home, sort of thing. But nah, he waited until it was close to midnight, I reckon, LA time, because the game finished at 10:30. Came out, he was so nice, warm, friendly. I mean, they just lost the game. He didn't even care. Like, it was, I guess they were the number one seed at the time, and he chatted with me, and my brother and my mum were there, took photos with us, and that was the first time I met him. And so the reason I met him is I was actually working. So he used to have his own website called kb24.com.
Yep.
And he had a forum that, like, it was actually really revolutionary at the time, because people could pay for a subscription to be a member to his site, and they get exclusive content from him, exclusive merch that nobody else could buy. So, like, he was on that stuff. Well, his team was on that stuff before other things have happened. So I was kind of help adminning the forums and the site, and I was just doing designs for the site as well. So I had some connection. That's how it worked. And shout out to Eric, who actually got me to, get Kobe. I always shout him out every year because he got me Kobe to meet him. But anyway, so that happened in LA, and then 10 years later, he came to Melbourne. I don't know if you're aware. He came to Melbourne last year. So I worked with, I was working with the group of guys, the Our Group, who brought Kobe out here. And so, like, a part of him coming here was he had like a photo line or something the day before the event, the night before the event. And so the Our Group guys were just like, dude, like, you know, you've helped with this event. Just jump in the photo line. So I jumped in the photo line with my brother and a friend of mine, Sam, and it was funny because it was very much like everyone was just, it was a crowd of people just push it. Like, you literally got 5 seconds with Kobe. Hey, Kobe, photo, move aside. Like, they had to shuffle like 1,000 people through, however many were in there. But we were like near the front, so I was like, oh, maybe we'll get like a little bit more time with him. But anyway, so when I got up, they're shuffling people in and shuffling people through. When I got up, I didn't want to go like, oh, hey, Kobe, do you remember me?
Do you remember me from,
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, Kobe. I was like, hey, Kobe, I do some of your memorabilia design work. That's all I said. I was just like, I'm not going to say much. And he was just like, dude, he's like, and he was clicking, and he was just like, dude, he's like, you're Tyson Beck. I follow you on Twitter, man. Your work's great. And I was just like, what? And I was just like, man, dude, as if you even remember, like, well, we follow each other on Twitter. He's DM me, or he DM'd me a few times, and I DM'd him. So I didn't actually think he'd know me if I literally just said, I do your memorabilia work. Like, I just thought he'd just sit there, sign it, not know who does it. So, but the biggest thing for me is like, so we took the photo, and then like, he kind of like started asking me questions, because he ran his Kobe Inc. ran his studio. So he was a creative person, storyteller, content creator. And he just started asking like all these questions. Like, it was funny because the first time I met him 10 years ago, I sat there asking him questions. Then 10 years later, he sat there asking me questions. I didn't get one question in. He fired off about 10 questions about how I built my brand. Why is it someone like Nike working with me? Why are these athletes following me and asking for work? Why are the leagues working with me? How did I get my name on product? Like, he knew shit, like, which surprised me. And during this, like, I think his security guard or something thought like I was becoming a crazy person, because I guess everyone was being shuffled through, and like, why is this random guy talking to him now? So he kind of came up, the security guard like pulled my jacket, and Kobe like stepped in and like kind of like, no, like, I'm talking to this guy, sort of thing. And and then obviously he needed to get back to the photo line, and he kind of just like yelled over, brought his manager over, and asked to get down my details because he wanted to work on something in the future. So and that thing that future project never happened, unfortunately, because obviously, everything that happened since then, his passing, and which is just absolutely awful. And but for me, it was like, I cherish that. I'll cherish that moment for the rest of my life. I definitely was like a Kobe stan. You know, I
Yeah.
rolled with him his whole career. I was a big fan. I backed him. Like, I was just one of those kind of crazy fans that, like, he was a god to me. Like, he was immortal. And I guess that's when he passed, it just kind of affected me, because I was just like, you know, people like him aren't meant to die. Like,
And you were
know,
in America at the time too,
dude.
you
I
were there.
I was at the Denver-Houston game, and I was sitting. I got a media pass for NBA games, so I was on the baseline of the court, and I was chatting with a couple of my business partners, and we were talking with Eric Gordon, who shares the same manager as Kobe. And we were chatting. He came over. He was chatting to my colleague, and he was in great spirits, like, you know, just like chatting, like happy, like joking. Because I was just sitting on the outside. I just didn't really like talk, because I don't know Eric personally. I just kind of like listened into their conversation.
Yeah.
He started taking free throws. We sat down. My friend got a text saying, you know, did you hear about Kobe? And we were just like, what? Like, what's going on? And then obviously we jumped on Twitter. We saw the TMZ article, and we're like, well, TMZ has never been wrong. But we were just like, no, it can't be true. We were like, we literally would talk, like, Eric Gordon is like, shares the same manager. He would not have been in good spirits. Like, he would not be like chatting, like laughing, you know, and everything. But then we just sat there and we were just like, no, please not be true. We saw like a group of people, I don't know what they were, team attendants, something, came over to Eric Gordon as he was practicing free throws, like literally like a minute after. And then like that was obviously them telling him the news. And then yeah, Eric came over like a minute after and said, like, yeah, whatever you're reading online, it's true. He was told, like, obviously directly from management or however. So we were just like, man, this is, it's just, I think it was just surreal, because, like, I don't know, we're at a basketball game. It was like the last thing I wanted to do was sit through and watch a basketball game. I didn't watch any of that game. I don't think James Harden didn't play. He just sat out. He just sat on the bench. I can't remember if Westbrook played, I think. But James Harden definitely didn't. And he has a close friendship with Kobe. And, yeah, I don't know. It was just insane. And then we were meant to actually meet Shaq the next day in Atlanta, because Shaq was meant to be coming out to Australia this year, but that's not. Well, actually, I can't mention that. But so that obviously got cancelled. I was in Denver at the time, and I was like, nah, I'm going home. I'm literally, I can't. I want to be by my family. I want to be by my daughter, because obviously it hit home as well, because having a daughter, like, it was just like, nah. But so I actually flew to LA, but then I changed my mind. I was just like, no, you know what? I'm going to stay in LA for a little while. I needed some closure, and I don't think going home straight away would have helped. What helped was hanging around, seeing the amazing tributes around Los Angeles. You know, it was just like, you're talking, there's over 150 murals around LA now of Kobe. That's insane. Like, usually if someone passes away or something, like, there might be one mural. Like, you know, it's just incredible. And everything outside Staples, all the fans, everything. And then I stuck around and went to the first game, Lake Portland game.
Clippers.
No, that one got cancelled. It was Lakers Portland.
Did they move it back and they played again?
No, it was Lakers Portland, because Lillard went off. He scored, dropped like 50. And LeBron's speech was magnificent. Pre-game, I don't know if you heard that.
I did.
And then I think Usher, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Usher sang, and what was it, Wiz? Oh, geez, I won't even pronounce his name, but someone sang at halftime. I forgot his name, Wiz Khalid or something. Wiz Khalifa. Sorry, that was embarrassing. Yeah, that was embarrassing. So Wiz Khalifa sang at halftime, and that was kind of, I think that helped with closure, being there, being around people mourning. I think it just brought everyone together. So I'm happy. I'm happy I changed my mind, and I didn't fly back home straight away.
Your brother made a nice comment there.
Wiz Khalid, I like literally merged DJ
Khaled and Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
So, but in that tragedy, I mean, you come home to Australia and you get to work on a Kobe piece.
I haven't worked
When
on a
did
Kobe piece yet.
you haven't done one yet?
Not official. No, I've done like some personal stuff. Unless I've
Are you gonna release any of those?
we'll see. No, see, for me, I've never sold my personal work. One thing I don't have a rights to, I don't have a license to, but my clients sell. So my clients sell like stuff like that. I'll make it. I get paid to make it, and then they'll
So you
sell
could
it.
never
But
just you could never just create something with Kobe and then put it online and be like, here you go.
I'm working on it. I've got there is something I actually will be dropping on my store in a few weeks. It's licensed, so I can do it. But I'm actually
See, I told you were working on something.
I know. Well, I'm working on something, but I can't really say it. So
I know.
and I know
And you didn't even, for
there's
everyone
a
out there,
person.
you've never said anything to me about it.
No, there's a person in this that has told me not to speak about it, and I see he's in this chat thing right now, one of them, and yeah, so I can't mention anything about it, but something is being, and if it goes ahead, it will be something. It possibly will be something official with the Bryant family.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
But for me, it was just cool to kind of like, I put up a few tribute pieces to share with the world, but unfortunately it just opens up to, just like there was one website that took a canvas that I made, a design that I made, chucked it on canvas, and they sold 8,000 of them for $79.99 US. Over 8,000. I ended up getting the site shut down. It was like a Chinese site on AliExpress or something. That's 640,000 US. That was one site that made that much money. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy, man.
And the saddest thing is, a lot of people reached out to me and said they paid for it because they wanted my work so bad, but knew I wasn't able to sell it. So they were like, I just bought it. Like, I'm sorry, I bought it. But they didn't even get it. The whole thing was a scam.
No.
It said they didn't even print them out. Well, they made printers. A lot of people didn't get it, reached out, and they never got it. And also it said all proceeds go towards the Mamba fund that was set up, which they wouldn't have. The whole thing was a scam. So this Chinese company made 640,000 US or whatever it equals. And there's a bunch of other stuff doing it. I've shut down many of them. Fortunately, Facebook's really easy to shut stuff down, but yeah. So for me, that actually inspired me to go, you know what? If people are making so much money off my work that I'm not selling, I need to start doing this. Like, I need to start selling my shit. So that's why I launched my website this week. So I started with the baseball stuff because it's licensed, but now I'm going to work with the NBA stuff, license it, do it right.
What's the URL?
It's just shop.tysonbeck.com. So it's got no basketball stuff on it yet, but there is a Kobe poster that will drop in the next few weeks, which is an old piece. It's not a new piece, but it's licensed. So, but I will be hopefully launching the new stuff later in the year if it ends up going ahead.
Wow, that's great. That's amazing. And you're a big Lakers fan, and you're probably dying to get back over there and watch some games at Staples and just feel it again, right? Because they're playing well. I had Phil Handy on the other day.
I watched that. Yeah. I mean, he'd be hating it, wouldn't he?
Do you know Phil?
No, I don't know Phil.
I'll link you guys up.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be sick. He's a legend at his craft, what he does. A lot of people here might not be aware of him, but he's well known in terms of like the players around the NBA. Like, he's well known and well respected with the athletes.
Big time.
Yeah. So I'm dying for some action. Like, I'm a huge Lakers fan. And I've rolled with them since '99. Obviously fortunate enough to win 5 championships during that time, and then be called a bandwagon for this whole time. But I don't really care. Like, I stayed watching them. you know, during when they had a starting lineup of like Robert Sacre and Ryan Kelly, Jordan Clarkson, you know, well, that awful Wayne Ellington, like a really poor lineup, and they were winning 17 games or whatever it was. So it sucks that it, you know, it was what, 6 years since they've made, or 7 seasons since they made the playoffs, and they're probably the best or the second best team in the league. And I mean, look what happens now. Like, I do not know what's going to happen. So I'd kill for some basketball and see the Lakers. But for me, yeah, I don't know. I would, the worst case scenario would be them finishing the season. Like, I want to see a season. I don't care if it's like behind closed doors or like in this remote location in the Bahamas or Las Vegas or something. Like, I don't care. Just do it. And make it best of 3 games. Best of 7 games. You don't even need best of 7. Make it best of 3. Like, and just scrap the regular season. Just start it. You know, just start the seeding as it is.
And who's your NBL team?
36ers. Yeah, easy 36ers. Just hometown guy. Yeah, there was
a lot of changes down there.
Yeah, well, I'm good friends with Kevin Brooks. I was really upset to see that Kevin Brooks didn't get the head coaching job. I think the head coach was announced yesterday. I don't know who he is, but
Connor Henry. He's a fairly experienced guy. He coached out here with the Wildcats as an assistant for a number of years. Been back in America, so you know he'll have a challenge on his hands, but he's got enough experience and enough guile, I think, to handle it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, nice. Well, yeah, who knows what's going to happen next season. I saw the NBL put out something today that there's a restriction already on imports. You only can have 2 imports next season, and I'm sure there's going to be further restrictions. But, yeah, 36ers are my team. I grew up watching them 1999 as well. Used to go to the Clipsal Powerhouse, I reckon it was at the time.
Yes.
You were playing back then. You would have hated playing at the Clipsal Powerhouse.
Well, especially Game 3 in 2002 when they took the title off of us.
that was, you know what, I've been to obviously NBA games. I went to the Oklahoma playoffs. I went to the when KD, Westbrook, and James Harden were all on the same team. I was one of those Laker fans at OKC. You know, when they pan out and there's like the sea of blue and there's like 4 Laker fans in the crowd. I was like one of those people, me and my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. And
oh, well, Jesus.
But the crowd was nuts. The crowd was like crazy. But I still think loudest crowds I've heard ever, Clipsal Powerhouse.
Yeah, it gets it going, and part of it is just the construct of the place with the wood and the plastic chairs and
people stamping their feet. There's like vibration. You don't get that in NBA stadiums where it's like concrete
and clanging up against those metal dividers and posts and stuff.
And then obviously it's very compact and very small. Like that noise can't travel anywhere. Like it's very like. Yeah, so for me, it's like kind of cool. Like I remember growing up and just being like, man, these NBL games are sick. Like after we went to a couple, we ended up getting a membership, me, my brother, and a couple of my friends, and that was like the good days. Like Brett, like my brother says it. Brett Maher's the GOAT to me. I don't care what anyone says. Brett Maher's the GOAT.
He was a great player, good guy.
He was awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Andrew Gaze is probably more better, like. More accolades, better stats, better career, but just in terms of like just a personal, like Australian basketball or Adelaide basketball, like there's no one better than Brett Maher to me for Adelaide.
No doubt, man. Well, God, this has been so informative. It's incredible to see someone go, you know, from a room, a house, an apartment, or wherever in Adelaide, and just have this international influence on some of the biggest sports in the world.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely try and stay in Australia. I'm never moving. I love Australia, love Adelaide. I'm never going to be one of those people that kind of like move to America and like forget about home. Like I'm always going to be here. I absolutely love this country and love the people here.
Well, keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing some new material come out. But give us your Instagram handle so everybody can go follow you.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Instagram handle is just my name, so it's at Tyson Beck, TysonBeck. So yeah, I'll keep
And on
sharing my.
Twitter, you're Tyson Beck Design, right?
That's it. Yeah, yeah. I'm more active on Twitter than I am on Instagram. So if you got Twitter, definitely hit me up on that and follow me, and I'll share my work on both of that. Yeah, Twitter's great.
Man, it's just been great to have you on. I love having, someone who's doing something that isn't quite, it includes sport, but it's a different
Yeah,
field, It's just so interesting to hear how it all works because, it's competitive trying to get out there and trying to get these
yeah.
opportunities that you've got.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, we might not play the game, but in some way we help make the game. Like
Big time.
we're a great connection between the teams and the fans, and yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And anytime I can kind of advocate for industry creatives and everything in sport, like I jump on the opportunity. So I do appreciate.
Well, I'll be sure to get you back in a few months, man. Stay safe. And
Good
I really
man.
appreciate taking the time. It's good getting to know you.
Thank you.
And I'll see you online.
Yeah, thank you. See you later.
No problem,
Thanks everyone in
Tyson.
the comments. See ya.
No problem. Have a good weekend.